Crystal with Pineapple Papers, and I am working with my Secret Not So Secret kit for February, and I've just about killed it. I may have one or two more layouts. For our scrap party this past weekend, we always Scraplift one of our members, which I think is probably one of my favorite challenges. So this month we are scrapbooking Laura Alberts, and you'll have seen the layout that I am scraplifting of hers. It is beautiful. So I'm running low on some supplies, mostly paper. I just have a few tiny pieces left. This is my biggest piece of paper, and I haven't even touched this beautiful vellum. So I put it out there in our Facebook group, and I'm like, do I cut it? Do I not cut it? And it seems to be the consensus is cut it. So I am going to use it, and I am going to cut it. So keep fingers crossed. I don't think I'll cut each individual piece out. I'm actually thinking of maybe using it as some layering as far as just getting some of those colors. So we'll see. That kind of gives me a little heart palpitation. So let's get started. So first I'm going to do the mixed media portion of the background paper, and my colors are a little more subtle than Laura's were, and I am using Heidi Swapp Color Shine in Ocean, and that's kind of the main, and then I'll do splatters in the Ocean, in Raspberry, and in Gold. Now unfortunately most of it does get covered up, but I think that is kind of the nature of mixed media in general. So these are the two pictures that I'm doing. It's basically a picture of me and my daughter, and then an attempt to get one of me and my son. So that being said, this was actually taken at Christmas time. We were at a light parade, but that's not the story I want to tell. So you can't really tell that we're at a Christmas parade. So I feel like it doesn't need to go chronologically at Christmas time. I'm going to put it actually in this particular album, and I want to talk about the fact that, you know, my son's getting older and he'll only tolerate my pictures so much, where my daughter is still young and still so happy to, you know, do what mommy asks, basically. So I'm doing some layering. I have this beautiful piece of vellum that has all of these quotes on it, and I didn't know what to do with it. So I actually put it out into the Secret Not So Secret kit forum on Facebook and was like, what do I do with this? And the consensus basically was cut it up. So that's what I'm doing. Now, a lot of the sayings on this particular sheet of vellum don't really apply to what's going on in my life, but that's okay. The colors are beautiful and they go perfectly with the collection. So I am going to use the majority of them as layering pieces. And I really like how that looks. You can see that I've layered it to both pictures, in addition to a couple of pieces of ephemera. I have that little, I think it was supposed to be a frame, but I used it as a layering piece, and then a couple of pieces of the 6x6 that I had left over. Now there was an XOXO on that vellum sheet, so I cut that out, and that will go on top of both of my pictures. Now in Laura's layout, she had an element up at the top right hand corner, kind of banners, so that's why I'm playing around with a couple of those banners. And then she had some down in the left lower hand corner. So I end up deciding not to do the banners in the top, but I did feel like it needed something up there. So I'm going to take this piece of paper that was in my kit, and I'm basically just going to cut a tiny strip and use both sides. And I will take that to my sewing machine and sew it down with some gold thread. And I am going to do the banner to the bottom like she had in her layout, along with the doily behind my pictures as well. Now I'm using some of the rub-ons and some of the die cuts from the Pick Me Up collection. And there I go. I don't know why I can't seem to keep track of where that little wooden stick is to go with the rub-ons. Like, that's a tongue depressor, guys. Like, that's not even the stick that it came with. But for some reason, I can't seem to find it. But I have a tongue depressor in my drawer, so that's what I'm going to use. So anything works, but apparently my fingernails were not working the greatest. So that's pretty much going to do it. I will add my journaling to that little piece of fruit down there. And I got some close-ups coming up for you. So I hope you enjoyed this process. If you're interested in the Secret Not Secret Kit Club, check out Christina Sorge at www.redefinedcreative.com. And remember to wear your crown. So we'll see you next time, guys. Bye.